Well, hello, everybody. It's me, your old pal, the Empyrean Vol. I had a hilarious, fall just now, well, earlier. I don't know, maybe an hour ago. I have an old computer that had pretty much given up the ghost. And I'm like, it's just laying around. I should throw this out, figure out a way. Maybe I'll take it to Best Buy or something to recycle it. So I need to pull the hard drive out and somehow get rid of it. You got to recycle your computer somehow. And I was trying to move it, and I tripped and I fell over. I ended up kind of tossing the computer out of the way. So I didn't really hurt myself, actually. I was kind of surprised. It's good that you didn't hurt yourself, Peter. Anyhow, what I'm doing today is, by the way, here's all my orcs. They're all done. The black basing is kind of fresh on these, so it's not dry yet. I just did this just before the stream, and I'm like, you know what? I'm down here already. So there's my Bifrost orcs. I will say that they went from kind of a light blue color to a well, let's see. Am I able to zoom in? Kinda, not really. They're looking good, right? You would agree that they look good? And I've got these Nagas that I've base coated, and also among the Nagas there's also some rabbits. Little tiny rabbits. I don't know, they're crudely done. I think these are Pendraken. And then I also have this this fellow, which is kind of like a I don't know, Sauron type dude. What I usually do now is I do some dry brushing. Once I've got them all black. Now I've heard this is called zenithal when you actually figure out the lighting first, and you're painting down as if you're dry brushing with the light. I didn't know what that was called, and I didn't really follow the lighting that well. But the dry brushing just kind of picks out some of the details, the highlights. And the cool thing about, as you can see, now you can see everything on the miniature. You can see all the textures. Like, for example, that's chainmail down there, kind of. The cool thing about this is that also, color doesn't look good over black. If you've got any transparency in it. And all colors do have a certain amount of transparency. That's why you need more than one coat. So this kind of takes care of some of that. Now this is an off-white. It's not really white. I use a, this is called antique white, but it's kind of a, you might even call this a tan. Where is this? Tan, sort of? Like white, by comparison, this is white, right? And then I'm using kind of an off-white. All right, so, and then the rest of these are Nagas. Here's a Naga. I don't remember where I got the Nagas. Unusually, I think they are male Nagas. Nice. Maybe I'm wrong. Is that like a Medusa? What's going on with the hair there? She might be female. She has kind of a classic look to this character, whatever it is. I mean, they've got bows and arrows. And the method I use for dry brushing is I use a little bit of paint, and I'll paint it on my cardboard surface first. So let's see if you can actually see that. I'm kind of painting it out here, and I'm drying it out a little bit, getting it kind of spread on the bristles of the brush. And then you just kind of dash it very lightly over, and hopefully it just picks up the brush, the bristles. Only allow the paint to reach the, it's not wet paint, so it's only going to touch the outermost ridges. I think it's almost too much paint I just did there that time. Well, luckily it's 15 millimeter. Let's do a bunny. First of all, let's zoom in a little bit. A bunny. Hello, bunny. This is like the king bunny. I say he's the king because all the other bunnies I did 2 per base. I have no idea what I'm going to be using the bunnies for. I just saw them on I think this is on the Pendraken website. If you check them out, they actually specialize in 10 millimeter, which is not my favorite, but the thing with animals is you can do quite a bit of stretching. You can say, okay, this 10 millimeter rabbit is just a very large 15 millimeter rabbit. It's just 1.5 times the size. All right, these are all looking good. How about this? Let's do this Naga. You notice I'm not going back into the paint because I don't want the paint has got to be kind of like mostly dry. I mean, that's dry brushing for you. And I'm already doing more probably than I should if I were to be truly embracing this zenithal method that I've been hearing so much about. Zenithal highlight. Shout out to Eons of War. That's one of the better websites for painting this stuff. From what I gather, I've never been a Games Workshop guy after, I don't know, the 80s, maybe 1994 or so. I don't think I've actually, done much with Games Workshop. And I'm starting to gather that people are starting to be a little bit done with them. Because everywhere I look, what people do is they've just 3D printed their own miniatures. Like nobody is paying for the GW miniatures anymore. And it's sort of like, yes, we know. You have the coolest sculpts and everything like that. But there's one-page rules, which is great. I wonder what Ian Livingston and Steve Jackson, not the Steve Jackson from Texas, the GURP Steve Jackson, who I don't think too highly of, to tell you the truth. But the Steve Jackson from the UK, I'm kind of interested in him. Ian Livingston is the fighting fantasy guy, and Steve Jackson did a lot of the Choose Your Own Adventure fighting fantasy books as well. Those guys are the founders, or among the founders, of Games Workshop. And they did stuff with D&D, they did their own stuff. White Dwarf. Cool dudes, as far as I can tell. I'm just hoping I don't go upstairs and chill out and then my knee starts hurting from this fall that I took. All right. So far I'm thinking that going from all black to dry brushed and off-white is looking great. We haven't gone overboard. This is, of course, a well established, time-honored technique for painting miniatures. I kind of stumbled on it by mistake. I didn't really know what it was. And I always did something very similar. I used to go overboard. My friend Joel Frock was a great miniature painter, and once we met through mutual friends, he was showing me all the ones he'd done. He's a way better painter than I am, let's just establish. But he doesn't like the dry brush look at all. Like, he likes it to be, solid colors. He is the one also who convinced me to prime miniatures in black. I was priming miniatures in white before that. Sometimes an off-white. Based on my theory at the time that colors look better against white. And he always made the same comment. He goes, well, if there's shadows or if there's something I miss painting, I want it to look like a shadow. Okay. Man, my orcs look frickin' great. Do they look great or what? I don't mean to just blow my own horn here, but I'm kind of surprised how good they came out. Right? Yeah. A lovely bunch of dudes. And I haven't even matte sprayed them yet, which I'm going to be doing. Now, with these dudes, with these other dudes, let me move my camera just a bit. With my Nagas, I can start painting them immediately. This dry brush, it really is dry. I mean, that's the thing. And it'll go pretty quickly, especially these rabbits. It's just like literally one color. But I still have this robot I did base coating on, and I promised I would do some black super shader so you can see what it looks like. So let's push these aside a little bit. We'll get to them. We're going to paint at least some rabbits, and maybe we'll come up and figure out a color scheme. You can see he's just flat colored. This is just a plastic toy, just almost like a Green Army Man or Timmy Laser Force or whatever. This stuff is like the goop, but it's not goopy at all. There's no viscosity to it whatsoever. It's much thinner, and it dries in a thin line. So when we put it like on the faces, on the eyes, it's going to dry right in those eye cracks, the little cracks of the eyes. And anything where there's like a little texture, it'll go in there pretty well. Like you can see it's already pooling around the waist. Around the gloves is going to look pretty good probably. Once you have this stuff on there, the shader, you can also dry brush over the top of this or add more details so that you kind of do a highlight layer. Because this sinks down, this goes down, and then your highlight is just, it's literally the highlight. It's picking up. That's why it's called a highlight. All right. Where is it? I don't know. It doesn't look amazingly different. And since this isn't real varnishy, it's not going to protect it very well. So we're likely to do some more stuff. We'll see. All right. Now, how do we do these snack men? I think they could be... Everything I do is brown. I don't know if I want to do brown. I mean, I could do like a brown coppery snake. The obvious choice is a green. I've got a number of different greens. I've got a metallic green. I've actually got a couple of metallic greens. One's called... well, I don't even know what that's called. This one looks kind of a sea green. I've got a nice forest green and a moss green. There we go. This one probably needs some... What do you think that is? They call this metallic green. It does not look like a silk or a satin to me, but it says metallic green. Is it really? It looks really... well, let me put this aside. This might be the way to go. I could do a green and yellow. I could do yellow. Actually, yellow might be kind of cool. How about yellow? I've got a sand yellow, an orange yellow, lemon yellow, yellow yellow. What's the yellow yellow? These are my two yellows. You can see one's a little bit lighter. This is sand yellow. Where's sand yellow? Sand yellow just looks like peach to me. It looks like a peach milkshake. Even pink or red might look really cool. I don't have too many red miniatures. But yellow, I don't have any. I think I'm going to go for the yellow. We're going to go yellow. All right. So how do we do that? First of all, let's check them out. They've got bows. Whoops. They appear male to me. But, you know, the thing with miniatures, you never can tell. And they're wearing... it looks almost like a toga. There's a quiver and a bow and arrow. And like a sash, maybe? Yellow with red would be kind of cool. All right. Depending on how dry... I know I just said that they're already dry. We want to get in there and work really... I'm going to use some kind of slightly watery paint. Slightly watery paint. Let's just see how it comes out. It's likely to be... By the way, I use craft paint, so this is like low pigment. You know, it's like... you know, it might take a couple of coats. I think yellow might have been a good choice. I don't know. It'll certainly stand out. And I know I'm painting right over all of that delicious detail. But the cool thing about the yellow is it's not gonna... it's really not... It's going to be very transparent. It's not going to overpower what I'm doing. And then the other cool thing is, you know, I'm still going to use that brown goop. It's still going to get shaded. And, you know, if you look at my orcs, they came out pretty good. Like, that shading stuff really does work. I mean, it's a low effort way of doing things, but it ain't the worst. I like that these aren't crossbows. Like, they didn't wuss out. They gave these guys real bows, and you didn't have to glue them on or anything weird. Alrighty. Okay, well, for whoever's visiting, check out my orcs. The orcs came out good. I'm doing these Nagas now. I'm not sure how they're going to come out. I have high hopes. High hopes. You can tell that the yellow is so transparent. It's not doing very good coverage, but that's okay. I think that's fine. I can go in with a second coat. All right, let's do one more that's in a different pose. This is a slightly different pose. This guy he's also an archer, but he's looks like he's drawing an arrow, although I don't have an arrow attached. It was like probably, it's an imaginary arrow. Invisible arrow. Invisible sandwich. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly and yet surely. All right, that's a quiver. He's got an arrow quiver that you would put your arrows in. All D&D players know that. It always used to intrigue me in D&D that you could also get, at least in the older versions of D&D, you would get a quiver for your arrows, but if you had a crossbow, you would get a case for your bolts. It was a case. All right. I'm painting them with very watery paint, so it's going to have a bit of transparency to it, at least at this stage. Yeah, I'm thinking that we're going to go yellow, and then maybe we'll do even a gold sheen of some sort over the top, and then like they have togas on or some kind of sash. I don't know if you can see it. Whoops. Some kind of sash, and the sash I think I'm going to do in like a contrasting red or something like that. All right. Oof. He's fine, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Laddies and gentlemen. If you get the chance, make sure to check out Arrow Comics and get the latest issue of Herobot Zero. Actually, get both issues. There's 2 issues of Herobot Zero. I'm in the second one. These are they're like anthology issues. There's multiple stories in each issue. They're kind of done like the old Harvey comics. I think that's a female. Is that a female? I think that's a female. I had thought these were all male Nagas. There's some of them that I'm convinced are male. Some of these that I just did, in fact. All right. And some of them are definitely female. This is another different pose. I guess I got a bunch of different poses. Cannot remember where I got these Nagas. From the Naga warehouse, probably. The box I stumbled over earlier was actually the box that I had at Historicon, and I was looking in it, and there were some miniatures that I had forgotten about that are in that box, including a nice collection of mounted cowboys and Mexicans. It's Texicans. It's a Texas-Mexican border war, or Texas War for Independence set. I've got 4 right there. Let me hang off on 4, and then we'll also do our Sauron character, which is this guy. But let's see, where are they? Yeah, mounted Texicans, and as you can see, there's horses in there, which is kind of cool. So I got some nice mounted figures. My favorites for the Wild West ones are the stagecoaches. Love a stagecoach. I didn't think I'd be into doing the Western ones at all, but once I did a stagecoach, I'm like, this is awesome. This is really fun. All right, let's take a look. I've also got some rabbits. So we're in my I probably do my rabbits because they're going to go quick. I can do them in all different colors. I'll just do them in browns, tans. What is this one? I've got brown, tan, and I know this is an orange, but I'm going to do this is orange. It's kind of a light, transparent orange, but when you get that brown stuff over it, it looks great. So, or I could do them in white and black. That might be fun too. I could do a white rabbit. Let's do I've got a raw umber. That'll do. I think that would make an attractive rabbit. Okay. Okay, here is my rabbits. They look kind of lumpy. I noticed I had raw sienna as well. So these 2 rabbits will be kind of brown. Let's choose a different color for... We'll split it. We'll do 2 different colors on this one with 2 rabbits on it. Let's do this color brown and a white. Where's my white? Okay, there's my white. Now, the trick with white, in my opinion, is you don't want to go too opaque with the white because that'll ruin all your shadows, which we're going to try and put back in anyway, so I'm probably going to just skim milk it. It's going to be nice and milky. All right. Let's do the little fella. The little fella in white. And then once we goop him, which we're going to do, he's going to turn off-white, and then we're going to highlight over the top of him to bring back the white highlights. All right, there's a white rabbit. How about the brown rabbit? So we did burnt umber. This is kind of it's called dark brown. I don't know, this is like the apple barrel type paints. I consider this kind of a milk chocolate brown. All right, here we go. Where are you? All right. My mother had Scotty dogs. And she always thought it was important to have one white Scotty and one black Scotty. She's only got one Scotty left. They've all sort of passed on, and her name is Missy. She talks to me about Missy all the time. I'm a big fan of Missy. All right. So there's our there's our rabbits for right now. Now they're gonna get a little bit more detail. This is just wet paint right now. Right? Okay. Brown and white. What does our king rabbit have to do? I could put him in black. I actually have something called Cocoa, which is... It's a brown that's so dark it's almost black. But I think I might do him in... Let's see. First, let me get rid of this. What is this color? Honeycomb. I'll do it in honeycomb. This says raw umber. Well, I'll take your word for it. Okay. Honeycomb rabbit. This is a nice tan color. I know this one looks nice because I've used this tan color on, when I did my eye switches, I did the hair, all different shades of blonde. Like I figured, okay, they're a bit Nordic, so I'll make them all blondes, but rather than make them all the same shade of blonde, I'll just do different colors. All right. They're Rubios. This has a bit of yellow in it. All right, once this dries, we can shade it. So let's just to look at them. There's our rabbits for right now. We still need to do this guy right here, or at least start doing him. Well, he's already, I mean, this is supposed to be he's a dark guy. He's got a big sword. Chainmail looking, loincloth looking thing. So probably some silver, but then he's got this cape. And it's like a feathered cape. I'm wondering which way to go with him. I definitely need to do figure out some kind of thing with his flame that he's holding. He's got a flame in one hand. He's definitely not going to be wearing yellow. Let's put him in... Oh, let's see what kind of colors I got. I've got a metallic burgundy. That might be the way to go. Okay. This color is called Cranberry Wine. And I think it'll look good on the cape. I'm a little reluctant to just use this brush. This is a big brush. So it doesn't have a lot of precision to it. But it is a giant cape, you know, it's not crazy that I would use this brush. You can tell I've thinned it out so much that I'm actually like, you can see the black coming through. All right. Yeah, all right. All right, and if we can see that side of the cape, we got to do the inside of the cape. Now, I could make the inside of the cape a different color. That's kind of a cool trick. I could leave the inside of the cape black. That would be kind of stylish. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to get the edge. You can't even see it. Okay. Trying to get the edge. All right. So you can see just the inside edge of it. Now you can see I nicked his sword just a bit, but we're going to try and do some, let's do some metallic stuff on the for his armor. And we'll retire this brush for right now, as soon as I wash it out. Okay. This'll do. All right, I have a metallic color that will really contrast, called patina. Where is the patina? I have metallic black that's called sequin black. The problem is it's just black, but it's, you know, it's comes out glossy. At this size, I'm not sure it would matter. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. All right, it's not there, it's not there. That ain't it. That's called ash. Gunmetal gray. Nickel. Zinc. I thought zinc sounded good, but it's an ugly looking color. It's not that great. Ah. Let's see. Oh, here we go. All right, this is a pretty cool color. This is, let's see if you can see it. It's kind of it's called dark patina. It's got kind of a coppery. It's going to contrast with that burgundy pretty well. The problem with the burgundy, let's see. I need to do, he's got armor on his hips. He's got kind of a chainmail, loincloth looking thing. This feathered collar is actually part of the cape, so I need to go get I need to do that in the burgundy again, or the cranberry. All right, let's see if I can get that in there. The fun thing about working with miniatures this size is, even if you mess it up, you can't mess it up too much. There's a limited amount of how bad you can get. All right, and this guy in particular, I mean, I got him for free. Oh, I'm gonna do his gauntlets that color too. His gauntlets will look good. He's got elbow armor and gauntlets. And I'm going to do his crown. He's got, I mean, this is like a Sauron character, so he's got a crown. And I'm thinking of doing that in gold, obviously. If you're going to have a crown, it ought to be gold. As far as the sword, the blade, I'm going to do it in like maybe a brighter silver, a silvery blade. And the flame, I guess I'm going to try and, I have a couple of fluorescent colors that are pretty good, but not great. I think we're going to cover his face. I think he's wearing like a face mask. Let's say he's wearing a silver mask on his face. He is, after all, our Sauron, right? He's our Dark Lord. I mean, I could do him in kind of a flesh tone too, but I don't think I will. All right, let's do his sword, because now that we have it open. And then we'll also go back with the burgundy and fit him up. All right. What did I just do with the dark patina? I had it a second ago. Oh, here it is. Another way to go, oops, obviously, is red. If you have a nice, good blood red, that's a good color to go with. Okay, here's nickel. I have an actual silver. This is the silver. Okay. You can see the silver is a very bright silver. It should look completely different than the dark patina we just used. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it won't. Like, maybe it won't. I'm trying to move my hand so you can see it. Let's see. I think the only way to really fix it is to use some of that gold that I was going to use on the crown to highlight so that you see the difference in the metallics. I've got a copper as well that I could use. All right. That burgundy's looking good when it dries. Look at the burgundy. You can see it's dried over here. It's almost taken on an orchid color as it gets darker. All right, let's see if we can fix up his that burgundy wine colored thing. Here it is. And then we've got some continuity from the front to the back. All right. Hopefully when we goop him, he will, it'll still stand out and look good. The hilt of the sword has got kind of a gem on it or something. Could be a skull or a gem. I could paint that out in red. Like a big ruby or something. That might be kind of cool. Where is this? All right, let's try that. Let's try and get the ruby. And also the flame. He's carrying the flame, so we need to do that in red with yellow. This is the flame. Can you see him? Let's see. And then we'll sort of put yellow tips to the flame. This is probably one of the nicest red I've gotten. It's called True Red, Rojo Veradura. It's a nice bloody red. All right. Yeah, he's starting to come together. Okay, you can see the little ruby on his sword. I remember when I was in high school and playing D&D, one time my character found it was like a ruby the size of a golf ball or something like that. And I'm like, can I get it put it on my sword? It's like, well, you can cash it in. I'm like, well, I'll get it put on my sword instead. And he's like, all right, that sounds cool. All right, that is looking good. And once we put highlights on there, it should look pretty cool. All right. Let's go with the gold. Go for the gold. I have this stuff, which is an orange metallic. I'm reluctant to use it, though. This is copper. Where's my gold? Here's the gold. All right, you have a couple of choices here. So with gold, there's like old gold, Aztec gold. It's like how much yellow is in the gold. This is a pale gold. Right there. Kind of a champagne colored gold. And we're going to use that to decorate the hilt of the sword and the little crown that he's wearing. I don't know if you can see him. There we go. And this will definitely be a battlefield superstar right here. All right, he's looking good. Oops, there he is. All right, now to sort of bring out some of his other gear. A little bit on the sword. I can do his belt buckle. They've added a convenient little shape on the back of the sword. Now, I almost want to get some black and water it down and paint the interior parts of his armor to shadow them away, which I think I'm going to do next. And then once we've managed that, thin this black out. I think we'll call it a day. Well, let's see what else we can get into. Okay. We won't know what this guy is going to come out like until we throw the varnish on him, the goop on him, because he probably has some shadows that I'm not even seeing. Yeah, I did like a wash on his chainmail and it came out kind of cool. So there's probably some interesting stuff going on up here near the top. All right. He could be the leader of these orcs, maybe. Move these aside. Let's dry brush some yellow on the flame. Burn the flame. There we go. What do I have in my Oh, I know what I can do. Hang on. I'll show you what's next up on the agenda too, by the way. Okay, this is they're about to be primed. They haven't been primed yet, but these are all adventurers. And they all seem to be fighters. I think they're all fighters. But they're all, every one of them is different. And so I got to spray paint those with primer, and then also this guy is just about ready. I could probably, well, the brown really comes out. I just primed him, and he's dry. It's a Jabberwock. Whoops. My only problem is I've got to put him on a base. So let me paint a base for him real quick and glue him on it. And next time, when he's nice and glued down to the base, I can start painting him. I could probably do the dry brushing. Well, could I? All right. Woo! There we go. All right, there's our base. It's a little wooden base, the way I like to do them. When that dries, we'll super glue them. While we're waiting to super glue them, I think I will dry brush them, though. I think I can do the dry brush without the base. As long as I have the brush dry enough. I do. I'm going to dry brush. I'm going to do sort of a zenithal. I'm using off-white or antique white. The true way to do zenithal, it's like you start with kind of an off-white, and then you also do a white layer as well. A real subtle white layer. And that gives it enough white so that when you're painting transparently over it, it lets the color shine through better. All right, here we go. We'll start with his face. Nice. He's looking a bit glossy, so dry brushing will take away some of the glossiness. I believe my Jabberwock is from Alternative Armies. I hope it is. I am a big fan of theirs. I feel like I'm already not doing a great job with the dry brush. You don't want to go too heavy. We're assuming light from above. I probably should have gone light from below. It's more dramatic. Dramatic underlighting? I mean, it's literally called dramatic underlighting. Oof. I just put my hand on that wet base. I know you're thinking, Peter doesn't know what he's doing. What is he doing? I'm doing all right. I'm making good grades. The future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. All right, I've completely blown it as a zenithal painter, but I have a nice nuanced base coat now, and then when I throw the white, I'll do another white one, like a white dry brush on there later on, but I'll be a little bit more subtle with it. And then, you know, of course, we're going to paint the whole thing, and I'm thinking the Jabberwock should be like an off blue. I might make them the same color as I did the orcs. Or start with that color, ice blue. Or I could do turquoise. Turquoise would be nice. Or I could do like a moss green or something. All right, our base is almost dry. We're almost there. I think we're dry enough to risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. Oh, come on. Ah, come on. There we go. Super glue. All right, and then you just got to leave them there for a long time. Well, not too long. How's my Nagas doing? I think my Nagas are looking kind of all right. Got a Naga here. Naga, what? All right. All right, so let's, just because I haven't froze my fingers off entirely yet, let's do, this is called Coffee Bean. I'm going to use Coffee Bean and do the bow and the quiver on just one figure, just to see how it comes out. Yeah, maybe not Coffee Bean. You think Coffee Bean would be good? All right. All right. Here's the bow. Oof. Whoops. It looks like a horn bow. Like I might have to do some ivory tips for it, like a horn bow. And then, let's see. I'm looking at the quiver on the back end there. There's the quiver. It's got some interesting decorations on it. So whatever I choose for the little toga colors that they're wearing, like a toga or a loincloth or something. Whatever accent color I use on that, I'm going to have to do also on the quiver for this design that's on the back of it. Right now I'm thinking turquoise, maybe. You see the little design that's got on the back there? I can feel it with my brush. One thing I haven't thought about too much is the hair. What color hair? And do I need to re-yellow it again? I don't know if I do. I mean, I'm going to highlight over the top of this in the bright yellow again. All right, now my idea was to do red. I'm gonna switch gears slightly and use vermilion. Now vermilion, I always thought was a shade of red. It's actually kind of a reddish orange. And I have I don't know if this is like a version of it. This looks like carmine pink to me. I'm trying to get the lid off of it. Here it is. All right. Ouch. Oh, it is bright red. Shades of vermilion. So that to me looks like carmine pink from the outside, but when you look at the inside, it's a nice bright red. Vermilion watercolor is like orange, in my opinion. All right. This is going to be for the sash and the hair, maybe not the hair. This is definitely one of our female Nagas. I thought they were male Nagas. It kind of goes nice with the yellow. Oh, there it goes. Sorry. It's got a nice like little packs it's carrying. Is that shoulder armor? Yes. Yes, it is. Well, we don't know what... Oh my gosh. I do not know what color hair to use at this point then. Vermilion will not work. I just got some vermilion on her bow. Okay, she's got like it's like a little forearm guard. There's the toga. All right, let's move this to the side. kind of browns do I got? I could do that honeycomb, or I could do snakebite leather, which might be even better. All right. And we'll put that in leather. Did I not go far enough on the color spectrum to create a contrast? Well, once the goop comes out, it's all over. All right, so let's see. Let's do the forearm guard in this color too. Her yellow is getting more and more subdued, and I'm wondering if I need to redo it. I almost want to do these arrows in either black or white, actually, too. All right, as long as we're doing that, let's do her hair. And, well, first of all, what do we got? I got to do something for the hair. The hair's got to be some kind of way. All right. I know this looks orange. The brown is going to hit this pretty hard, though. All right, we close? So my question is she wearing armor on her arms? Or is that her? All right. Exact opposite order. Doing the skin tones last. Come on now. Yeah, I think that might be armor. So I might have to do that, her other forearm also. Normally I reserve yellow for bugbears. This is the bugbear color. Which, by the way, they come out good. You can use it on goblins. I think goblins can be yellow. In my world. Okay, we're going to go for the underarm here. That's looking okay. The underside of her snaky tail. Okay, all that's looking pretty good. Oops. All it's looking pretty good. I could probably touch the hair up a little bit. I'm going to hold off on doing the detail on the quiver, but I think it would be vermilion to match the rest of it. And she's definitely going to get gooped. No, I know she looks really bright and kind of clownish right now. But when she gets gooped, it's going to be a different story. And the reason I know this is because I did the bugbears this pretty much the exact same way. So she's going to have bugbear colors, kind of. Yeah, she's still got kind of a classic Greek hairstyle. Maybe I should have gone with dark hair. She's a Gorgon. She's a Gorgonzola. All right, let's let her dry for a second. If I had some harpies, I would do the same thing. So they matched up. All right, let's see. If I can get this to bake pretty quickly. Hair dryer intensity. Yeah, she's looking all right. All right, so let's wait on her a little bit. Let's take a look at our other dude that we did. Is he dry? He's looking pretty dry. He's looking good, actually. I think we're going to goop him. I have a couple of choices. I've got dark brown. I've got that really watery black. Whoops, I'm going to move him a little bit. I've got the watery black. I've got the dark brown. And then I have something called super shader. No, not super shader. But like, it's just called super wash. And I have two of these. I have this one. This is black. So I could super wash. I'm actually washing might be the way to go. This is just a really watery, thin paint. It is not as same as the super shader. It's super wash. All right, here we go. Guess I'll even wash the flame. Because even flame will have black shadows in it, in my opinion. Am I wrong on that? Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to give it a little bit of a flick so that the excess falls off, but hopefully it dries, leaving some nice texture. And then I can go in and hit the highlight on the gem. Let's put this here. I could super shade the rabbits while we're waiting. That would not hurt anything. All right, super shade the rabbits. Here's the rabbits. This is our king rabbit. Looking good. Then we got these two rabbits. What are the rabbits for, you may be asking? And my answer is, I don't know. I just saw them and I was amused by them and I got them. I also got a collection of like flightless birds, like ostriches and stuff. And I love them. I don't know what they're for. I've painted them and based them, and I've got ostriches. But like, you know, there was I think it was Splintered Light even. They had just a collection of animals, and it was a bunch of really unusual animals. And I thought, okay, I got to have those. Okay, once this dries, we re-dry brush the highlight over the top to bring back the white on the white one and the maybe even a lighter sort of blonde color on the bunnies. All right, we're about to goop our lady. Here she is. Is she dry? She looks dry to me. She's looking dry. Not you, you. All right. Let me shake it up. The problem with this, the goopy brown stuff, it smells vaguely like chocolate and it looks like chocolate. What if it really is chocolate? And I've just been slathering my miniatures with chocolate this whole time. That's how you get, like, so if you look at my orcs, that's the look that the super shader does. It really varnishes and burnishes the colors and mutes them down, but it also sort of unifies them. And it looks like I'm just going to cover this in just brown. Oh. And I'm only doing this on one, right? You know, I'm not doing all 5 at once or anything like that because I actually don't know how it's gonna turn out. This may be a total failure. We don't know. We don't know. I gotta make sure to wash that brush really good. Okay. And then you gotta take it back off. Take off the goop. That's step 2. All right. The side effect bonus of the goop is it protects the paint. Like it's I mean it's literally a clear varnish. It's like you're covering it in lacquer or something like that almost. Although not quite. And it shrinks. So you can see right away we've taken out a lot of the brightness has gone away. And the brightness not just on the yellow but also on the vermilion. And they've all sort of come together, colors anyways, color-wise. Now I probably next time I think I might leave them overnight to dry. I might actually be ungooping paint. We'll see. All right. Okay, hang on. All right, let's see what she looks like in a little bit. It's going to take a while until she dries. Hope I didn't take off her. Yeah, I think I might have taken a bit of her dress down. The vermilion down, we'll see. I guess we'll find out. The fun thing is, we can always just kind of keep painting on her. That's the cool thing. All right. Moving her aside. Slightly less failed. But how's our robot doing? Let's see. He's looking okay, actually. I kind of want to do his eyes. Let's do his eyes in red. Not the best job I've ever done, huh? Oh, and we could even do like a... I almost want to put some kind of killdozer, like anti-personnel bulldozer front end on the tank thing here. It's like an orcish tank or something. Killdozer. All right. All righty. All right. We're going to finish this out. I have my matte spray box right here, and I'm going to take my orcs and put them in. So they all get matte sprayed, which protects protects their little bases. I also have the medic and the captain from the other day, from the other night. And I'm going to put those in the medic in the mat spray box as well. Okie doke. Try not to use it in an enclosed area, kids. Of course, it's freezing cold outside. I'm in my basement, so I will not be following those instructions. All right. Smells great. Okay, oakley dokley. I've got high hopes for my Naga. I think I can make her look good. The brown is starting to dry and it's starting to sink into the shadowy areas. I'm definitely going to have to do some extra repainting on her to bring out her yellow highlights. How about my rabbits? Rabbits are still... Where are they? Well, he's still wet, but he's looking a bit rabbity, isn't he? He's a bit rabbity. His tactical rabbit markers will be used for some serious wargaming only. That's what we call it. All right. And really, I think that's all I can do until everything dries. So I'm kind of at an impasse. I could start painting my Jabberwock, which I quite love him. Look at his face. Look at his little face. I'm loving him. Should he be like turquoise? Like what color would you do this guy? I know it comes from Lewis Carroll. He's gigantic, by the way. He's bigger than the dragon. I mean, bigger than the... Oh, hello. Anarchy. Looking good, man. All right. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Tune in at random times for more hot 15mm gaming action. Got some, these are the guys that just got varnished. All looking great. And then I've got these guys, which I'm about to prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's a nice, not too many. Let's throw this back in on the stand. There we go. One hour and 30 minutes, so I will see you later.